The month of midterms and shrinking days, November was a good but challenging one. I was super busy with school, constantly catching up on missed lectures and writing some outline or other. I wore these pants much too often and ate my fair share of sushi. Sushi is my happy food. It makes my day better, puts a smile on my face, yada yada. I actually live for sushi, but I digress. Cathcart was my second home for a sec. The glass ceiling, the endless food options, the Christmas deco. Seriously, what more could one ask for out of a study spot? Leaves, on the other hand, has been my favorite matcha spot lately. They make such a good latte if you're ever craving one and are on campus. What started out as a challenge is now the norm for me, striking a balance between my school, work, social lives. After a study day, Mila and I took my dad to the theater for his birthday to see Polytechnique, which was so moving and incredibly produced. I'm not really a theater girl, but I really thoroughly enjoyed this. The following night, we had Sarah's birthday dinner as well. Vagabond, Jaded London with Jean Moms. Theme is all black and I almost left my house in all white. I don't know what it is that makes me feel like this. I don't know who you are, but you must be some kind of soup. Gorgeous.
Gonna go have a snack.
And I still like need to try.
Lost electricity while we were getting ready. You probably can't even see me right now. So I had to do all my makeup, get dressed in the dark. If I look like shite, it is what it is. I had to slick back in the dark. This is the pre. T'as besoin d'un manteau noir avec ce scarf. Mila and I are headed to the library. What? A little Ryan sesh. I need to write an abstract for my Japanese cinema course due Monday and finish Brideshead Revisited. It's really nice out, so we're gonna walk. Andiam, t'es prête? Good morning. I just woke up and took my shower. It's 9. I've not been an early bird these days. As you can tell, I look like I rose from the dead. I'm so puffy. It's just one of those mornings, but I showered. I feel nice and fresh. I'm headed to breakfast. It's early though. I don't eat this early usually, but I'm happy that this has forced me to get up and at 'em. These days I've been getting my day started kind of late and I prefer an early start. I feel like I just take advantage of the day, especially with the shorter days. You gotta take advantage of the sunlight, the like 4 hours that we get of it. Yeah, let's go. Wearing my tan carrot top again. It's the best. With my new acne scarf. It's pink. Yay! I love it. I'm headed to Cathcart. Gonna go meet up with some friends, get some work done today. I have my Japanese cinema abstract due tonight. I'm writing about The Moon Has Risen by Tanaka. I really need to get to work today. I watched the movie again last night. We watched it in class, but I'd forgotten all about it, so I rewatched it, took some notes, and now I'm just gonna write my abstract. Basically, our abstract is due so that she can kind of approve of our thesis, just to get ideas flowing for our final paper that is due in like a month. She wants us to already start thinking about what we want to write about. Yeah, that's why I'm so last minute and writing it today, is because an abstract is literally a page long, takes no time to write. When you know what you want to write about, it's just like basically saying what you're going to talk about. You don't really need to find proof or examples yet, although you should be thinking about that when you're writing your abstract, obviously. And the abstract can change, so no pressure, but I do have that to do today. I also have to finish Brideshead Revisited by Evelyn Waugh, because I'm writing my final essay for British literature on that book, and that's due a week from now, and I'm like halfway through the book, so I really need to read today. I also am meeting with the prof on Thursday. By then I'll have to have like a pretty good idea of what I'm writing about, to go over what am I doing, to go over what I want to write about with him and get some feedback a little bit, because we have to come up with our own prompts. I just want to make sure that I'm gonna be on the right track. This year I've been going to office hours so much more than I've ever done in my entire life. University life, I used to never go to office hours and be like, what's the point? Like, I can do this on my own. And ever since I've been going to office hours, it's really helped me get better grades in university. Bouncing ideas off of a TA or something can really help. Also, it's happened that I've gone to office hours and literally been on the call for like 5 minutes just to ask, is it okay if I do this? And then they tell me, yeah, but make sure you do this, which has been so helpful. So many times I was just kind of on the wrong track or misunderstood a part of the assignment. That's my pro tip to getting better grades in university: go to office hours. Those are like the two main things I need to do today. I just shot a bunch of stuff this morning. I've been slacking so much, which is always what happens in midterm season. I cannot keep up with anything but school. And my bus is here in 4 minutes and I'm gonna miss it. Let's go. I'm gonna miss my bus. If I'm gonna fit. Oh my god, you gotta be joking. Oh my god. Definitely not what I had in mind, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Let go. This is literally me every morning running for the bus. I also adore Bar Otto's booth. Their noodles are chewy and delectable. The best lunch on a busy study day. So satisfying. I love Bar Otto. I am headed to Mano Cornuto. The staff is the nicest and the food is amazing. Their focaccia with burrata on pistachio cream is godsend. It's just gonna be a really nice evening and I'm really excited, especially after the day I've had. Like, I've had a good day, but I'm exhausted. I had my Enviro quiz this morning, last one, thank the Lord. I went to Schulich to do some essay prep, and then I met with my teacher to talk about my essay, and then I had class till 5:30, so I'm exhausted. But it was actually a really productive essay day. I've decided I'm gonna write about Brideshead Revisited. I'm gonna touch on gluttony like I think I mentioned, but I'm gonna focus more on the theme of Catholicism. Catholicism is such a big theme, and there's such this heavy emphasis on like all these characters believing wholeheartedly in all that is Catholicism, but every single character sins constantly. Evelyn Waugh just like really makes it a point to create these characters that are super religious but seem so encumbered by religion. I think the way I'm gonna organize my essay is by cardinal sins, so greed, sloth, pride, wrath, gluttony, lust. What's the other one? I forget. I just want to talk about that. I'm kind of having a hard time coming up with a thesis. Like, it would be super easy to be like, the author is criticizing Catholicism, but Evelyn Waugh was a Catholic, so that kind of complicates things because it's clearly not a critique of Catholicism because he was such a firm believer in it. So I really need to figure out my thesis. I'll tell you more about it later, but I'm kind of in a rush. I gotta go. So see you at the restaurant.
This is so funny. Hear me say how I picture me with you. Since you've been gone, I can't breathe for the first time. I'm still moving on. Yeah, yeah.
Good morning. Just had such a busy morning. helped my mom move some boxes at her studio this morning, and then I had a coffee date at Cafe Alphabet. Met with Fred, talked about journalism. I'm trying to like explore, figure out what I want to do after university. I do think I want to continue my studies, but I don't know. I'm just curious to meet with more people and hear what their experiences are in the world of journalism. Oh my gosh. No, such a lovely date. I feel like it really opened my eyes to a bunch of opportunities and other things I can try out. So now I'm headed to Pink La Blonde. I'm not okay. For the holiday shoot, if you know me, you know I really don't love modeling, but I love Pink La Blonde. And the team is so nice, so I said yes, but usually I would never really do this. I just really don't like posing in front of a camera and I get so insecure. But I need to kind of get over myself because it's really not that deep. And then I get home around 5:30 and I need to grind out my essay that's due tomorrow that I worked all of yesterday on. I will explain more in detail, but I gotta run and I literally have 0 brain cells right now, so. Making time for dates in between the stress of submission deadlines and looking into the summer and post-grad life has been a game changer. I learned how to play chess one afternoon instead of working, and I'm not gonna lie, I got super stressed that night realizing I hadn't done work, but then I learned to view these moments as necessary, and it's been hard to realize this, but life is not all about productivity, and I go through life checking things off lists. That's just the way that I am, but I'm really trying to steer away from that mindset because honestly, if anything, life is about the small moments in between it all. It's about the time you take for yourself and the energy you put into your relationships. That's what's most fulfilling at the end of the day, I find. Good afternoon. It's almost 3:30 and it's already dark out. I ended up staying up until 2 in the morning, cutting down my essay. I wrote 1,000 words over the word count. Classic. Cold brew under eye. Good weird, my favorite. So I'm having kind of a brutal morning slash afternoon. I'm so happy it's done. Thank the Lord that essay is in. I basically ended up talking about the 7 cardinal sins and how Evelyn Waugh's Catholicism is kind of more forgiving towards the upper classes and the aristocracy, and how all the characters in the book sin but end up repenting their sins and being forgiven and still lead very pious lives despite their having sinned, and just how Waugh's Catholicism is very motivated by this idea of sacrifice. I honestly really don't feel good about it because I wrote about the 7 sins, which is very ambitious for a 1,300 word text, and that's why I was 1,000 words over, is because there's so much to say. And so I'm not sure that my argument is strong because I had to cut down so much to be able to cover all the sins, and I felt that if I only covered like half then it wasn't as strong, but then I'm like taking away sentences that better explain what I mean. On to the next. But I'm heading to that class now. You have to submit it in person. But yeah, I'll actually show you guys because I did promise to talk about it and I want to talk more about what I do in school. I'm just so bad at sticking to it. Also, I hate my title. Couldn't do it anymore, guys. I just could not do it anymore. Basically, like, I started my essay. My hook is enumerating all of the ways in which the characters sin. I basically go, Julia, whose ties to Rex Mottram fill her with pride. Brideshead, whose father denotes him a greedy boy. Julia, again, whose fierce moods result in wrathful outbursts. Charles's aristocratic admiration makes him envious of the Marchmaid's estate. See, like, that's where I had to cut down words so we have something that I don't think makes sense. Aristocratic admiration is like admiration of the aristocracy. It's just not the same. So hopefully he just like reads over that. Sebastian, whose heavy pour and lavish luncheons are undoubtedly gluttonous. Lord Marchmain, whose Italian lifestyle is infectiously slothful. Where to begin with lust? Julia, Lord Marchmain, Charles, Rex, affairs permeate the lives of Brideshead's visitors. Evelyn Waugh's Brideshead Revisited. To be Catholic is to trip up, sin, and hopefully be forgiven in confession or on deathbed. For this cast, faithfulness within the inherent sinfulness of the Roaring Twenties represents an almost insurmountable challenge. By unveiling the imperfectibility of Catholicism, the novel emulates Waugh's cynical theology, whereby the veneration of God occurs alongside that of the aristocracy. Although his Catholic characters all embody the cardinal sins at one point or another, everyone's ultimate piety, whether by designation, reconversion, or conversion, reflects Waugh's views of religion as indispensable. It also reveals his upper class bias, as the aristocrats can sin, be forgiven, and even redefine what constitutes a sin. Waugh promotes conversion not by outwardly praising Catholicism, but by showing how grappling with religion and taunting its boundaries solidifies faith. Thus, Brideshead Revisited reflects Waugh's own conception of Catholicism as sacrificial, forgiving, and necessary. And then I have like all the subtitles of all of the sins. In the end, the point is, although all of Waugh's Catholic characters sin, they exhibit unfaltering faith throughout the book, and that faith is strengthened by their indulgence in the cardinal original sins and their eventual repentance of them. So Tawa Catholicism takes a form that supports his aristocratic penchant, wherein gluttony and greed take the form of fine living for the rich, wherein sloth, pride, and lust are rectifiable, while envy reflects upper class veneration. So, as Charles says himself, Catholicism is ridden with hypocrisy, and Waugh's own theology reflects that by promoting forgiveness. Although this pardoning mostly benefits upper classes in Brideshead Revisited, the repentance it promotes is nonetheless alluring. So I'm just gonna hope that my teacher focuses on creativity. At least I know it's concise because I have to cut down every single thing I wanted to say. I'll let you know how it goes. Now I need to start The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie by Muriel Spark. We've basically already done 2 lectures on it, so I know the gist of it and I know quite a bit about it, but I have not started it because I was focused on finishing Brideshead and then writing my essay, and I didn't want to have like conflicting storylines confuse me. I don't know. I don't like to write about stuff when I'm reading other stuff. This is what we're going to be discussing in class today. I don't ever talk in class anyways because that's not my thing. If I can write it down, then I'll give my 2 cents, but if I have to say it aloud, then this is just not gonna happen because I get too shy and I'm terrified of doing that. Just not my thing. After class, I'm going over to Alex's. I prepped some veg and I'm bringing coconut milk because we're gonna make poke bowls. We're just gonna have a girls' night, much needed. I need to decompress after the week I've had. Let's go to class. A busy yet slow month. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for my December recap.